Good morning. At the tree. Oh, good morning. It's Friday morning. The time is about 8:15, and a rarity for me, I've got 2 nights ahead of me. So I'll be packing up sometime Sunday, all being well, and back at the scene of the crime. But look at it. Don't you just love the look of that? Welcome to this week's vlog. Right people, time's 4 o'clock. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I think what it is I've not got the baiting spread right. Because, oh dear, excuse me, because the wind is blowing harder today, the baits are spreading too much. Well, that's what I think anyway. You can't go from having 6 fish one day to 1 fish the next day in exactly the same, well, say exactly the same conditions. More or less, it's just that the wind's increased. Because the wind's increased, I can't get the baiting situation right, like I just did. Yes, I could use singles. Yes, I could use PVA strings, but it's still not going to give me the baiting spread that I want. Yes, I could use the spom. It's not going to give me the baiting spread that I want. So at the moment I'm stuck with it. I've just got to hope that the wind dies down tonight a little bit, so as I can apply some bait. Because if I don't apply any bait, then I'm not going to catch any more. And me being greedy, I want to catch as many as I can to make up for earlier in the year. So I don't know. Right, shall we go for a wander? Because I said I'd show you the gear that I use. Right, we'll start off in the bivvy, if you like. Right, the sleeping bag that I use is a Chub Cloud 9, 3 season up until it starts getting a bit cold. Then I put a tracker thermal coverall over the top of that, and then that does me until it really gets cold. Then I use a Chub Cloud 9 5 season. Bed chair, possibly the best night's sleep I've ever had on the bank, is a Nash Z bed. Now I've had Nash beds before. That was only a 2-leg, and it was the Outlaw one. And that was sturdy. This one is a 3-leg. It's not the wide boy, it's the standard. And elasticated all the way around, same as the other one, but it's a damn sight more comfy. When I went to buy this, well, I didn't actually go out specifically to buy this one. I went out for a new bed chair, and I narrowed it down to the Indulgence from Nash or the Z bed. I sat on them both as I am doing now, and I found that the Z bed was slightly higher, which is what I prefer. The one I had before that was another 3-leg. Can't think what that one was. I've still got it, but the rods would go, the centre rods there was thin, and I was forever bending them. Right, unplug you so as we can go a bit further. Next will be the bivvy. There we go. There's my bivvy. And that is a Pioneer Ultralight. I have got the skull cap for it, but at the moment I'm not using it. Again, it's a great bit of kit, but unfortunately they're no longer manufactured. To show us how good they are, the second-hand prices are up in the 300 quid mark. 200 to 300 quid. The only downside of it is you can't get a full winter skin, so you can't get that bit covered, you can't get that bit covered, and the same on the other side. The only thing you can cover is the top part. Right, where should we go now? My waistling. My waistling is from Venture Car. There's no problem fitting the 50 in there. My cradle, see that, is a Nash H-Gun Deluxe. Now that's had a fair few fish in it, that has. The only thing I don't like about that is you can't adjust the legs. The legs are fixed. It's the only thing I've got against it. My second unlocking mat is the one that down there is, I use that so as when I hook a fish, oh, you lost me, when I hook a fish, lift it out of the water onto that mat, do all the unhooking and that on there, leaving it in the landing net, break the landing net down, carry it to the cradle. So as I'm not carrying rods here, there and everywhere. Your landing net, to be honest, I can't remember where I got that from. I've had it that long, but it still keeps going strong. The last time, no, not the last time before that I came out. No, the last time I came out, I did break my other one, which was a Nash Outlaw one, 42-inch arms. Now I've got one 42-inch arm and two 21-inch arms. The rods, hang on, let's turn you around. There we go. Oh, let's see. The rods I'm using now are the Fox Warrior XTs, 3-pound test curve. The reels are Daiwa Crosscast S, but I've put the X spool caps on them to turn them into quick drag. The bobbins, Defiant MPS. You can have them in various sizes. That's the largest size he does. I think they're about 12 gram. Solar fitting, jobs are good. The alarms are Mark II Steve Neville's with the ATTX backs on to turn them into a remote system. Mainline, just lately, has been £19 Fox Illusion Transkhaki. That's about, oh, my scales are Ruben Eaton's. I carry my rods around in various rod bags. My 12-foot 3 1/4 are carried in a Kevin Nash 3-rod sleeve. They're carried around in a Fox Royal 3-rod sleeve. My spawn rod, which is over here, is a Fox Warrior Spod, 5.5 pound test curve reel. What? My spod rod and my marker reels are both the same. And they are Mitchell AVO spods, both loaded with braid. My throwing stick is a Gardner Scorpion. Lovely throwing sticks these are. And that's about it, really. Don't that look good? Can't show you too much because the sun's getting in it. Look, the sun's getting in it. So yeah, that's about everything that I can show you. Oh, my chair over there, that was just a cheap one. Can't remember who makes that. But yeah, that's the gear that I use, or I'm using on this occasion. I have got different rods, different reels for different situations. I've got some 12-foot 2 3/4 original Sonic SK4s. They're matched up with Nash BP10s. And because they're a light reel and a light rod, that's a good match. The 3 1/4s are custom built. And they're matched up to Fox FX11s for the long range casting, which is what I do with them. So yeah, that's an insight into my gear. So I'll catch you all soon. Finally, the wind has died down enough so I'll get 2 hands full of bait over where I want them. So I'm now a lot more confident. Whether it'll make any difference or not, I don't know. Time's 5:10. I'm just going to get my tea on. Which just so happens to be the Cornish pasties. Turn the cooker down to minimal heat. Grab my pasties and then go and put my rubbish in the bin over there. Just hang them in the tree. Oh dear. Got an itch. So yeah, I've not put no bait over the right hand in the middle rod because that was sort of fairly close to the baiting spread that I wanted. It was just the left hand rod. I just couldn't get that baiting pattern right. So now that the wind's died down a bit, I can do that. I would say though the fish are pulled out because there weren't no food out there. I should say they've pulled out. But that 17 last night at 11:45, that came after I'd had no bait out there. I just have to wait and see. I mean, I've not even been troubled by tench today, not really. I think I've had one tench today. I know I've had one, but that's the only one I can think of. Yeah, I have only had one tench today. One carp and one tench today. Still looks good, but not so good as what it did yesterday. I'll show you. Yeah. Like I say, still looks good, but not so good as yesterday. It could be the fact that it was a fresh wind yesterday. Or a fresh strong wind as to why the fish was up here. I mean, I've not got no bait. I've not put a bait in that far corner. If you can see it, Can you see it? Oh, you might be able to if you see it there. Yeah. I've not put a bait in that far corner, so there could be sat up over there. But I like to create a safe haven within my swim where there's no lines at all. And then if they start getting bothered, they can just drift off out to this safe haven. Then when they're ready, they can come back in. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But that's what I like to think. Hence why 99% of the, well, no, 85% of the time I use fluorocarbon mainline. The only time I use mono now really is when I want a little bit more range and I want to use me 3 1/4 rods. But after the last time I used them, it don't look like I'll be using them again. Not down here anyway. Well, not on this lake. Yeah, just warming up my pasties. Oh. Got my bivy light on charge. I didn't finish charging it up because the bloody phone keeps dropping down in battery. I don't know why. Saying that, I'm due for an upgrade next year. Early next year as well. I mean, you can see that the wind's not so strong today as what it, well, not so strong now as what it was earlier. Right, sign off, get these pasties down my throat, and then sit back and wait for Kutsi to go live. See you all later. There you go, you can see me now. Not that I expect you want to. Nothing today. Totally different contrast to what it was yesterday. Absolutely, totally. I mean, the time's now nearly 6:10. And I've had 2 runs all day. One carp, 1 tench. I mean, the wind has abated. It's abated a lot. Now, whether that's got something to do with it, don't know. Whether I didn't have enough bait out there to keep the fish here, I don't know. Whether I scared the fish out with catching too many, I don't know. I'm not going to try and analyse as to why. All I know is that today's been like a normal session. I mean, yesterday I was having carp and tench at regular intervals. Today I had, what time did I have that fish? Can't remember what time I had the carp. Must be about 7:30. Might be wrong. Mostly am. Another tench at 3:30 this afternoon. Hey, my light's finally charged. Wait a minute. Yeah, I had the tension about 3:30. Must have been it today. I've managed to get some more bait out there. The winds are baited. But I think it's a bit too late. I think the fish have done the off. Still, there's always tonight to bring, to come. Still not had a fish on that right hand rod. All the action I've had over the last 2-3 weeks has been the left hand rod or the middle rod. Now whether, again, that's bait positioning, I know it can be because at times I've had it close to the middle rod. Must be the bait. Right, now my light's packed up. I think the fish have moved out. They moved in on the strength of that wind. I caught quite a few. Scared the rest off that was around here. And the ones I had at night were just stragglers. The ones that are sort of, if you like, coated around the edge of the lake. And because there was no food out there to hold them, I just all decided to do the off. I may have to start rolling this bait in 18s. And then I know whatever the weather conditions, they'll sort of go to where I want them. But I do like fishing 16s. With all my hairs that I've got pre-tied are all for 16mm and 10mm snowman setups. So that means retying all the bloody air rigs. No, I'll stick with 16s. Right, time to sign off. Good morning. time's about 7 o'clock. Well, I had another tench last night at about 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning. Something interesting to note was the fact that I have been fishing over silkweed. Now, I recasted the rods in the hours of daylight last night for the last time, and when I had that tench wrapped around the tench itself, was Canadian pondweed. Now, that spot has not had no Canadian pondweed on it since I've been fishing it. So what I think has happened, and why my catch rate fell off, was the fact that heavy wind we had on Friday had been breaking off the stems of the Canadian pondweed, and they've been rolling with the undertow, and they've covered the spot. Hence covering all my free bait. Yeah, my hook bait has been sitting on top on it, but I've not been fishing effectively. I mean, that might not totally be the case. It might be totally another reason. But like I say, when I've been fishing that spot these last few weeks, it's been blanket weed. But that tench this morning, there was Canadian pondweed out round it. So yes, the wind was in my favour. Yes, it got the fish feeding. That was obvious on the Friday. But having had one carp yesterday morning, one tench yesterday afternoon, and one tench, like I say, about 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, and the tench this morning was covered in Canadian pondweed, I think that's what's happened. I mean, nobody knows for sure what's happened. It could be the fact that I'd had that many fish that I scared the rest out, or they've been feeding somewhere else, breaking up off the Canadian pondweed, and the wind has drifted it on again. So I definitely think that with that Canadian pondweed on there, on that spot, it's definitely affected my fishing. I'm going home today. I don't know when. It's not going to be just yet because it's absolutely chucking it down the rain, as you can hear. I might get till about 12 o'clock. Get home, have a shower, get freshened up. Put the rest of the bait that I've got left out there. I suppose I've got, I don't know, about a kilo and a bit. So leave it at that, and I'll speak to you later. Morning people. I had to have a change of position because it's absolutely chucking it down the rain. But, oh hang on, I forgot my bucket. Fish number 8 of the session has just been banked. Weighing in at 16.6, and it's another common. Happy days. Don't you just love them? Right, I'm going to slip it back. Oh, good morning. Don't you just love it? Sorry I look like a drowned rat, but as I said, it's absolutely, well, you can hear me fucking pissing down the rain. Yeah, so 8 fish now. So, yeah, happy chappy. I've got my 2 cutsy beams in me when my strip light's going. Because I mean the time's 10 to 8 and it's still dark out there. I would get a coffee on, but I've only got enough coffee for 1 cup and enough sugar. No, enough coffee for 2 cups, but enough sugar for 1 cup. I suppose I could have coffee without sugar. That'd wake me up, wouldn't it? Oh. $19 or $17. Can't remember whether it's 2 or 3 16s. 19, 17, 2 or 3 16s. 2 12s. What about 13, 14? No, that's wrong. Because I've had a 15 in there somewhere. 19, 17. Must be 2 16s, a 15, one about 13, 14 pound, and then 2 12s. 8 fish, yeah. Something like that. Might be 1 16 and 2 15s. I can't remember, not until I watch the playback, and then I'll be able to tell you exactly. But the 17 I know I never got on film because I got to press the bloody record button. What a dope. Right, I'm going to sign off. I'm actually going to have a black cup of coffee now. Not black. Coffee without sugar. And then save the coffee with sugar for my breakfast. Right. Time's 8:45. I've had my breakfast. As you can hear, it's still chucking it down the rain. It's supposed to stop raining before 10 and then starting up again about 11. So if it does, that's when I'm going to start getting the gear put away. I'm not going to do it while it's raining. I've already ended up looking like a drowned rat once. Not had no further action. My next day off is Thursday. So I'm going to put all that bait out that I've got left. I don't know, I suppose about a kilo and a bit. Get a couple of mixes rolled in the week, ready for Thursday. And then roll some over the weekend for Monday, Tuesday. And then I'm back on single days off again for a little while. So can't wait for the next time I'm out after this weekend. 8 fish, well 8 carp, 5 tench I think I'm on now, 6 tench, something like that. So yeah, not only am I looking like a drowned rat, it sounds like a drowned rat out there. So I ain't got a clue how I'm going to dry all my gear out. I haven't got a bloody clue. Yes, it's persistently raining at the moment. Persistently. So if I don't do any more updates, you'll know why. I mean, that last fish right there, the camera in the bivvy and the cradle just outside the bivvy door. So catch you all again soon, whether it be later or whether it be in a different vlog. So happy days. I've got my gear away. I know I look like a drowned rat. That's because I've packed it all away in the rain. I can't show you. So possibly, yeah, been very, very enjoyable. 8 carp and 4 or 5 tench, up to 19.6. The way I started off on Friday, I thought literally I was going to empty the place. But then Saturday I had 1 fish, and I had 1 fish this morning. I think what the problem was, the taking zone where I was getting all the takes, the wind brought in a load of broken off Canadian pondweed, and I was having to fish slightly further to the left. I mean, like I turned around and said in, I think it was the last video, 2 foot can make all the difference, and so it appeared to be. I couldn't get to where I had been catching the fish from, so I had to move the up bait, and the fish just stopped coming. So it just goes to show that within your feeding zone there is a preferred picking up zone. picking up your bait. Yeah, they may be skirting the outside of it, picking up your freebies, but when it comes down to your hook bait, that has got to be absolutely bang on. So, right, I'm now going to head off home, empty the car if it's still raining when I get home, and then jump in the shower. So, I'll see you all soon. Bye.